Welcome to the first edition of the Beat Podcast Show. My name is Brad Dalius, and today we've got a special guest for our first show, as recording artist and Jersey native Kev.D is going to be calling in and talking about everything that he's been working on recently, including his music and everything that he hopes to be releasing soon in the near future. In the meantime, remember to follow the show on Twitter at The Beat Pod and check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/TheBeatPod. We'll have Kev.D on the line right after this. Hang on.
Living on a summer night.
Back here on the Beat Podcast Show, Brad Dalius with you, as we are now pumped to be joined by up-and-coming recording artist Kev.D. Kev, what's going on, man? Thanks so much for coming on the beat today.
No problem, man. What's going on?
Hey, we are so excited to have you on. Once I came across you and your music, for me, one of the things that stands out right off the bat is this is a musical artist who really tends to wear his music on his sleeve. And I think that it really comes across in your music and in general. Would you kind of agree with that?
Oh, definitely. I'm like a walking image of my music. It's all me.
And then talking about the music, let's just get right into it. Summer Nights. This came out, I believe, last summer. Is that correct?
Yes, it was one of my main singles that I put out. Probably the biggest single I dropped so far. Dropped it last July, so it's going on about a year. And people are still loving it a year later. It's kind of like a timeless song,
You can check it out on iTunes. It's still up there. And Kev, I think most people want to know, what's the inspiration behind the song? Obviously, people can listen to the lyrics. They can kind of gather what it's about, but just in your own words, what was the true inspiration behind Summer Nights?
Pretty much Summer Nights was just about, I just took ideas from me and my friends and things we did when we grew up or things we do now in the summertime, and I love to hang around my friends. I'm with them all the time. I love to go to the beach. I love to hang out in the sun. I love to hang out on summer nights at bonfires, and of course, I like to drink and have fun and do all that stuff. So pretty much just a song about what me and my friends or what I like to do on a summer night. It's pretty much just like that.
And you're East Coast based, right? Born and raised in Jersey, I believe?
Yep, I'm still in Jersey.
I would imagine being on the East Coast, being in Jersey, obviously a lot of fans out on the West Coast I've seen, and a lot of people who follow you on Twitter. Big fan base out there on the West Coast. You're obviously here in Jersey. You've been here obviously your whole life. How old are you now, Kev?
I'm 23.
23, okay. So
yeah.
You and I are very similar in age. I'm 22, and you've been out here your whole life. So Any plans on relocating out to the West Coast at some point? Would you want to go out to LA potentially, or are you solely based here on the East Coast for now and think you're going to stay out here?
I'd like to relocate. I definitely would, because I can definitely tell you I don't like the cold we get over here. I definitely don't like that. So I could see myself relocating maybe anywhere to California or Florida, something like that. I would definitely go to California, though, without a doubt, because that's where, a lot of dreams are honestly made. California is where you want to go to chase your dreams. There's a lot of people in the entertainment industry there. There's a lot of connections there. Just so many possibilities are over there. But as far as me being in the East Coast, I'm still doing as good as I can from being from the East Coast with everyone being on the other side of the country, but I definitely could see myself relocating. I would love to hang out by some palm trees on the beach,
The weather's not so bad, right? The weather gets it done.
Yeah, exactly, because I'm not a cold person, and we have some really bad winters over here. I mean, sometimes it gets 0 degrees and snow, and I just can't stand it. So I definitely could see myself enjoying the warmth also all year.
Let's talk about your work. What are you working on right now? Do you plan on having an album come out? I saw you did an interview back in January, I believe it was, and you were talking about an album that was potentially going to come out soon. What's the status with that right now?
Right now I'm about to put out a free album, so you want to call it that, or a mixtape, whatever people want to call it. It's called Double Life. I've been working on that for about 7-8 months now, and that should drop the last week of July. So the last week of this month it should drop. And I'm coming out with a new single called By the Bay, and that should release the end of this month, beginning of next. So pretty much right now, I'm working on the album Double Life that I will put out for free, and then I'll have a single that's coming out, and it will be on every major market, iTunes, Google Play, and any other place that you could go download music or buy music.
So people should definitely be on the lookout.
Definitely, definitely. Summertime is when I make most things happen. I got my merchandise out. I do webisode series called Just Another Day. I work on them, and then the album, and then the single. So summertime, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming from me.
Who do you emulate after? Who do you look up to in the industry? Do you tend to associate yourself more so with a certain group, or do you feel like you kind of get your inspiration from a bunch of different artists?
As far as that goes, see, I'm really different than most artists, in my opinion, because I don't listen to that much rap. I'm considered rap and pop, but I don't listen to that much rap. I'm more of a rock guy, classic rock. I would listen to like a lot of reggae, Sublime, 311, stuff like that. So when it comes to stuff like that, I look up to rock artists and reggae artists. So for me, my idols are Steven Tyler from Aerosmith and Kid Rock. So I think that's a really different group of people to look up to for what I do in music. You get what I'm saying? More people would look up to other rappers or other pop artists, but for me, I look up to rock.
Absolutely.
Rock artists.
Yeah, you mentioned Aerosmith, Steven Tyler, Dream On, Kid Rock. I love it. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm definitely like that. My mom was a biker. My dad was a biker. You know, I just grew up on rock and roll, and it's just in my blood. You know.
I hear you, absolutely. And I want to touch on real quickly, you mentioned the web series in there. Now, is this something that you want to continue to branch out on eventually and to be more of a well-rounded artist and doing different things outside of music? Or is it just kind of something that you like to do on the side with some friends and things like that, just to kind of put out there what you do on a daily basis?
I definitely wouldn't want to limit myself, so I would definitely be open to dip my hands in a whole bunch of different opportunities and different, jobs or anything like that. But the main purpose of it is for my fans. As of right now, the main purpose is for my fans to just see what I do. You know, my fans are really interactive with me. They're really into my life. They're really supportive. They care about me a lot. So I give them an opportunity to come just see my everyday life, see what I do when I'm not, on the computer or on the social network, and they get to see who I am, not behind a computer. You know what I mean?
Got to put yourself out there, no doubt about it. I like the thinking. And obviously, as you put yourself more and more out there, you would think you're going to get attention of other people, not just followers and fans, but other artists in the industry potentially down the line as well. And working with other people. I don't think there's anything bigger than working with other people, regardless of what field you're in, especially this industry, in the music industry. I think working with other artists really sparks some great music, and we see it all the time, great collaborations with some of the real big stars in the industry. Collaborating with other people, is that something you want to ultimately pursue down the line?
Oh, I would definitely be open to do stuff like that. Like you said, it opens a lot of doors. You get to connect with them. You get to put two arts and two minds together, and you get to put two fan bases together, two locations together, and it can come out to be a great song. And like I said, it opens a lot of doors, and it makes a lot of opportunities for both artists, and I'm always up to collaborate, whether it's film, whether it's music, anything like that.
We're talking to recording artist Kev.D. Follow him on Twitter at OMG. It's Kev.D. Ultimate goal, 5 to 10 years from now, Kev.D., where do you see yourself? I guess, number one, do you see yourself still in Jersey ultimately? And do you see yourself still pushing out and recording songs and bringing out albums? Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? Looking ahead down the line just a little bit.
In about 10 years, I'll be in my 30s, so I want to be successful in the music, and I want to continue to do music until I'm in my mid-30s. And then I want to branch off and do something else, because I don't think that in my late 30s I should be continuing to do pop and rap. I just feel like there's a limit, you know what I mean, to that kind of music. Like, for me, rock, like I was telling before about the rock and roll, to me, rock and roll is timeless. Rolling Stones are still on tour, Ozzy Osbourne's still on tour, Aerosmith's still on tour, Metallica's still on tour, you know what I mean? That's like timeless music. But I feel like when it comes to rap and pop, it's so in the present. You get what I'm saying? It's for that style of that time, of what's hot. So I feel like within the next 10 years, I don't want to still be doing that. I want to continue music till I'm about in my 30s, and then from there, I honestly would have no idea what I'd branch into, but I'd be willing to do all kinds of different things. But I definitely want to stop music by 35 and hopefully make a whole life out of it and be able to live comfortably, basically.
He's keeping his options open. I like it, and you're looking for longevity, obviously. That's always key. Kev, we really appreciate you taking some time out to join us today here on The Beat. Last question for you. If you could think of one thing that, let's say, most of your fans or your followers, that they just don't know about you, what would it be if you could put your finger on one thing?
If they don't know nothing about me, let's see. I'm pretty open to them, but if there's one thing they might not know about me is I'm super into ghosts and aliens, and conspiracy theories. I'm really into that weird stuff. I'm into the whole, conspiracy theories, what the government's doing, and I'm into, aliens and all them ghost hunter shows and stuff like that. Some people think it's weird, but that's something I don't think they would know about me or expect me to be into.
Check him out at KevDmusic.com for everything that he's putting out there. Once again, follow him on Twitter at OMG. It's Kev.D. Kev.D, thanks so much for joining us, man, today here on The Beat. We appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
Big thanks to Kev.D for coming on the show today. It was a lot of fun chatting with him. That will do it for this edition of the Beat Show podcast. I'm Brad Dalius. We'll talk to you next time.